Hi, ever had those days when your stomach just won't settle down? Gas, bloating, and cramps? Sounds familiar? Well, you might be dealing with irritable bowel syndrome or IBS. At Welling Homeopathy chain of clinics, we have treated over 10,500 men and women suffering from IBS, offering them complete cure. So I know all that IBS patient goes through and what is needed for a complete cure. In this video, we will be going through a breakdown of everything you need to know about this not so fun gut issue and how you can manage it better. Let's start. Firstly, what is IBS and why does it seem like everyone is talking about it? IBS or irritable bowel syndrome is a chronic condition that affects the large intestine. But here is the tricky part. It's not something you can just spot on a test. Unlike many digestive diseases, IBS doesn't leave visible signs of damage in your gut. So if it doesn't show up on scans, how do you even know you have IBS? The signs of IBS come from how your body reacts after meals. Think about it. You are just going about your day and suddenly you feel an uncomfortable cramping sensation. Maybe some bloating or even some gas. You could be experiencing constipation one day and diarrhea the next. It's like your digestive system just can't make up its mind. Sounds frustrating? Right. But before you start worrying about every little stomach ache, let's clear something here. IBS is very different from that occasional indigestion or food poisoning. So what makes IBS unique is its long-lasting nature. We are talking about a pattern here, about symptoms that shows up at least once a week for 3 months or more. And trust me, it's more common than you think. About 10 to 15% of people worldwide are estimated to have it. Now let's talk about what's really going on inside your gut. Experts are not exactly sure what causes IBS, but they have some pretty good guesses. Stress is a huge factor, right? Those endless work emails and life stresses can literally mess with your immune system. That's because your brain and gut are constantly chatting through something called the gut-brain axis. Think of it as a two-way radio system. If your brain is stressed, your gut is going to hear about it and act up. It's no wonder we get that butterflies in the stomach feeling when we are nervous. Another key factor is food sensitivities. No, this doesn't mean you are allergic to certain kind of foods. But some people with IBS find that their gut doesn't play nicely with certain ingredients like gluten, dairy, or even some spicy foods. And some people get a problem with caffeine. Just 1 cup of coffee can send your stomach into a full-blown revolt. So, if stress and certain foods are triggers, can you just avoid them and call it a day? Well, it's not that simple. Because IBS isn't caused by just one thing. The solution is a bit more complex, and doctors usually suggest what's called a multifaceted approach. That's a fancy way of saying you have got to tackle it from multiple angles. Diet changes can make a world of difference here. Some people find relief with low FODMAP diet or FODMAP. They are short chain carbs that can ferment in your gut, leading to gas and bloating. So foods like onions, garlic, beans, and certain fruits are high in FODMAPs, and can trigger IBS symptoms. But here is the thing, everyone's triggers are different, so it takes a little bit of experimenting. And then there is exercise. Yes, just moving your body can help. Physical activity helps regulate digestion and can even calm the brain gut communication. Think about it. After a stressful day, going for a walk or doing some simple yoga can help release that tension, which your gut will definitely appreciate. But wait, IBS is not just a food and stress issue, it's a lifestyle issue. And that's where the mental game comes into play. You might have noticed that IBS symptoms tend to increase when you are anxious or worried. That's because our emotions are deeply tied to our gut's behavior. In fact, some studies call the gut our second brain. And that's because of the huge network of nerves it has. Even heard of term gut feeling? It's more than just a phrase. Your gut is loaded with nerve cells that actually send more messages to your brain than the other way around. So, if your mind is in state of chaos, chances are your stomach will be too. That's why mindfulness techniques like meditation, deep breathing, or even journaling can be game changers for people with IBS. Reducing mental stress often leads to fewer flare-ups. Now, what's about the medications? So sometimes lifestyle changes are not enough, and that's okay. Doctors might prescribe medications to help control just the symptoms. If you deal with frequent constipation, there are medications designed to help you go. For those who struggle with diarrhea, there are options to slow down the digestive system. But the key here is always to stay in balance. Relying solely on medications without addressing the bigger picture like diet and stress will not give you long-term relief. Sometimes probiotics is another buzzword you might have heard floating around. These are the good bacteria that live in your gut and help keep things running smoothly. Some people find that taking probiotics can help ease IBS symptoms. But again, it's not one size fits all solution. Your gut microbiome, fancy talk for the billions of bacteria living in your digestive tract, that plays a big role in IBS. A disrupted microbiome can lead to more gut problems. So, keeping your gut bacteria happy is very important. You can do this by eating foods rich in probiotics like yogurt and curd. Let's not forget about fiber. Fiber can be a bit of a double-edged sword for people with IBS. So on one hand, fiber helps regulate digestion. On the other hand, certain types of fiber like insoluble fiber found in whole grains and vegetables can actually trigger symptoms in some people. Soluble fibers found in foods like oats and apples tend to be easier on the gut. So again, it's all about figuring out what works for your body. And here's one more important thing to remember. IBS is different for everyone. Some people might have mild symptoms that come and go, while others could have severe flare-ups that last few days or weeks. So, the goal here is to cure IBS with right holistic homeopathic treatment. With the right combination of diet, stress management, and right homeopathic treatment from the experts, you can lead a totally normal life with IBS. And don't worry, you are definitely not alone in this. See you in my next video. Bye and take care.